Amigos, otra fiesta libre, nos conectamos de manera virtual con Eric Winter. ¿Cómo estás, Eric? How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Or should I say bien?
Bien, muy bien. Welcome to Otra Fiesta. We're so excited to speak to you. We've talked to Roselyn so many times here on the network, and we're happy to have you here. How are you? How's everything?
Everything's great. Gearing up to head to Miami, which is a place I always love to visit. I'm excited about that. My wife is coming with me this time, so and Rosalind's always in Miami. It feels like at some point, or, at some point or another within a year. So it'll be nice to be there together.
You're going to be doing some bottle signings at 12 Wine. You're going to be
Yeah,
part of the Miami Rum Congress. Talk to me about what this weekend is looking like for you.
yeah. I mean, as you said, it's action packed. We start out right away with a bottle signing 11 to 1 at Total Wine Kendall. And then we're off to the Miami Convention Center for the Miami Rum Congress. I'll be doing a panel there, meeting everybody. We have a couple booths set up so people can come and taste palm, be involved with whatever we're doing at the booth, but also ask questions and listen in on a fun panel. And then we jump into Saturday. It's kind of like another repeat of everything. We jump into another tasting slash signing at Total Wine Miami Beach, 11 to 1 as well, and then back to the convention center for more fun there. And then we're going to follow up with a group of the Florida Rum Society. And they have a great, we have an event going on there that is going to be a hangout. There's tickets to be had. I don't know. It's a wait list, I think, at this point. But Bamboo Room, I believe, is where it's at now, and doing more stuff with Palm and the Florida Rum Society.
I love Bamboo Room. I was just there recently. It's a lot of
Oh,
fun
good.
there. Yeah, yeah, it's amazing.
So that's great to hear because I've never been.
Yeah, yeah, it's brand new. It's fairly new. They just opened, and I went to an event that they had there recently, and it's so fun. You can play dominoes there too.
Oh, I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
it's great. You've done bottle signings before, and you've interacted with fans and stuff. Do they get well? You talk about tasting. Do you get nervous before they take their first sip? Before gotta get like a one-on-one reaction, or how is that for you?
Yeah, and listen, I'm not going to lie. Anytime our reviews, our awards, our feedback has always been exceptional. But anytime you're dealing with a consumer facing product, it's everybody's got their own preference and choice and taste, and I respect that. I'm not going to assume that something is necessarily for everybody, but yeah. So there's always a little bit of nerves of someone truly enjoying it the way I know so many people do. But thankfully, yeah, I was in Miami not too long ago. We had two Total Wine signings, sold out of every bottle within like an hour. And people were tasting it on the spot and loving it.
I was reading, and I want you to tell me more about the story. So tell me if this is true that you kind of like fell in love with rum on your first visit to Puerto Rico when you were with your in-laws and Rosalind. Talk to me about this experience. Like, how did this happen?
Yeah, that's spot on. That's the truth. I went to meet my now in-laws for the first time. This is almost 20 years ago, 19 years ago. And I'll never forget. Her dad sat me down and said, "Hey, let's talk." And I'm gonna, he just offered to, you drink rum, and I was like, I guess I do now. I'd never was a rum drinker, and he poured me, I'll never forget, Bacardi Ocho Años, and I remember taking my first sip, going, "Wow, this is not what I expected." I thought of a very typical American view of spiced rums and sweet rums and stuff like that, and this was a nice premium aged, 8-year aged rum. And after that, Roz and I would travel different places in South America, Central America, and obviously in the Caribbean as well. And I just started trying different rums from different places and realizing everybody had their own sort of unique way of doing it, different distilling techniques and flavors. And we decided to put together Palm Republic and bring a blend together of cultures and techniques and experiences and put it in a bottle.
So throughout your rum tasting experience, from like day one to like obviously developing your own rum, you've like probably tasted so many different like or seen even different ways of how it's done. Now, what is the Eric Winter way of doing rum? Like, I don't want you to give up a secret because obviously you have Palm Republic and that's like your way of like presenting rum. But if you can just tell me like how did that work out?
Like, how do I drink it, you mean? Or how do I
Yeah, like
pour
just
it
how you develop this brand and everything. Yeah, yeah.
Well, and the way we developed it, there's a lot of stuff. I'll just tell you this: there's fascinating ways like the Jamaicans do rum in a very specific way, and that's one of our blends is having Jamaican rum, which brings in a totally different. They call it a funkiness in Jamaica, but it brings in this total flavor profile that's unique to Jamaican rum. So that was one key thing that we wanted to put into our blend. Um, and then coming up with basically a brand and and a style and a look that we wanted everybody to feel included.
Since you mentioned how do you drink it, like, what is the best way to drink it? Like, tell me what is like the best way to drink rum.
For me, and this is like what happens when you get into like nice rums, is I love to just drink it on the rocks. That's one of my top ways. Now, I do love good cocktails as well. So for me, I would say two of my big go-tos outside of like, I love a good mojito as well, but like the old fashioned, rum old fashioned with Palm Republic. We call it an Old Republic. I love that drink. I love it smoked, smoky old fashioned, amazing. And also my new like craze right now is an espresso martini, but with our aged rum. I've done it with both the aged and the silver, but I just feel like the aged brings something a little different to it. I'm hooked on that right now.
You have me at espresso martini. Listen, my way of drinking everything.
All right, well, let me tell you. Trust me.
Espresso martini, so I'm definitely going to try it that way too. We have to talk about The Rookie. It's on its 7th season.
Yeah.
The fan favorite, obviously, it's been around for 7 seasons. And I noticed that there's a brand placement there that Palm Republic does little cameos on the show too.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Talk to me about this. Like, what is it like to be Tim for all these seasons?
It's completely unique to me. And I've never been on a show that's gone 7 seasons. I think I've gone 2 seasons on a show max. And I've been on a bunch of different projects, but it's been a true blessing. Tim is a very complex character. It's so fun to play as an actor, number one. But the show and the cast and everybody, we all just get along so well. And it's such a great group of people, but I have fun going to work every day. So I feel very fortunate to be in that position. And it's rare, to see any show these days get past, a 4th or a 5th season, let alone being in 7, looking at maybe an 8.
Obviously, you have your podcast with your wife, with Roselyn. It's called He Said, Ella Dijo.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fun to work with your wife and, do this podcast together. Obviously you guys are together all the time, but what has this experience been like for you guys? Like, is it like therapeutic? Is it something different?
You just hit the nail on the head. It's a complete therapy session. We love doing the podcast. We have a lot of fun. We're truly opposite. So the whole opposites attract thing is legit. And we found it, in a way, like we go into a therapy session sometimes because we could be in the middle of a little bit bickering, argument or disagreement. And we have to go do a podcast. And all of a sudden we're talking all these things through and we come out of there laughing. And I think the fans have really resonated with that banter, that we're opening up and sharing that side of our lives, our marriage, our parenting and profession. It's truly been a blast for 3 seasons now. Alta Fiesta, we would love to have every one of you out there. Whoever wants to come by, I love meeting fans, supporters, get some, sign some autographs, take some pictures, come learn about rum and what we're trying to do in the category. I welcome everybody to the party.